Yes.
Welcome back to another episode. Welcome to the Kimberley and welcome to the Gibb River Road.
Caught behind Venetian blinds, had to reach for the city lights. This ain't where I belong. Hey, look at me, man, what I've become. I've been running east.
That way is Kununurra, where we've come from, about 100 k's. Behind us is almost 700 kilometres of mostly dirt to get through to the town of Derby. In between, there's a heap of stations, heap of points of interest, gorges, waterfalls. I don't know. We don't know much of what's out there. There's a lot to see and do. The Kimberley region is almost twice the size of Victoria, 4 times the size of the UK, the size of California, and it has one sealed road that goes through it.
Imagine Germany with one sealed road.
So even though the Gibb is 700 kilometres long, if we were to do every side track in the Kimberley, we'd be doing about 3,000 kilometres of mostly rough off-road tracks. So obviously we're not going to do all that in one trip. The season's getting late, but that means although the water levels are low, so are the crowds.
So are the crowds, which suits us.
Suits us just fine. So there may be a few spots we don't touch on or visit this trip because some of the waterfalls have slowed or stopped. Some of the waterholes are starting to go stagnant. But on the plus side, the ones that we do get to and the ones that are still going, we may have to deal with a few less people. Campgrounds are emptying out. There's a lot less people on the road. So yeah, that's the compromise we've made.
So the only thing we've got to worry about is the heat.
It's going to be hot.
It's getting hot.
But to be fair, it's hot up here all the time. We can't wait to check it out. So stick around. We're going to go and explore the Kimberley.
Falling apart right now. I'm bleeding an easy kill. Gonna leave it all behind. I think it's time.
So there's a cracking little free camp here right on the banks of the Pentecost. This is going to do us for tonight. It's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, so that's plenty far enough in one day for us. We made it all of 50 k's. Nah, it's all right. We planned that. So we thought we wanted to park up here tonight, so that's why I guess we planned the way we did to do Emma Gorge this morning as we left. Spend all day there and then get out here to camp at the Pentecost. Liz is
I'm
extremely
so
nervous about
about
crocodiles, mainly for the kids, not so much for herself.
And myself.
Oh, and herself.
It's one of those things that I think it's worse in your head until you're here. And then when you're here, you sort of acclimatise and you know what to expect and you know where to go and where not to go and what you can. Like, I think I've watched one too many Crocodile Dundee movies and I think they're all out to get me.
I think there's going to be some really nice wildlife here tonight. I think we're just going to chill out. There's hardly anyone here. We haven't seen anyone else camping. There might be people up further, but we haven't really seen anyone else. There's no one on the opposite bank. It's really quiet here. It's really nice. So I'm just going to kick back. I chucked a few beers in the fridge, so they're calling my name. I think I can hear them.
This is a really pretty spot.
Beautiful. I can see why this is a popular spot to hang out.
Yeah.
Oh, good morning. We're packing up, trying to get on the road as usual. Yeah, bloody good camp last night. Nice and quiet. A few people ended up rolling in and camping, but there's heaps of space here. So, yeah, really nice. Heaps of wildlife. Even this morning, there's egrets and plenty of fish around, and kids are already in fine form. Yeah, there's heaps of bird life, and I was trying a croc spot, doing my hardest, looking for a croc. Can't find any. Apparently, there's plenty here, but they've evaded me once again. We still haven't really seen a croc in the wild apart from when we did the yellow water cruise at Kakadu. So a little bit disappointed with that. I don't know. I just really want to see a couple of crocs in the wild, but there's still time. We've still got time to see a couple, but I'd just love to see a couple of big ones, just in a river system or something. But we will continue the croc hunt. So this morning we're just going to duck into Home Valley. It's only Home Valley Station's 10 k's up the road here once we cross the Pentecost, and then keep punching west down the Gibb and see what else we find. we're going to get out of this campsite. I just got to get these max tracks out from under the back of the car. I backed the ute up onto the max tracks when we camped up yesterday arvo, just to lift the back of the ute up a bit so the van wasn't quite so nose down. Go forward. Stop. Well, that was weird. I don't really know what happened there, but Liz just went to go forward and one of the rear wheels was just, like the brake was locked on. It might have got wet when we did the crossing yesterday and just rusted up a little bit or something, but so I just reversed to try and free it up, and it seems to work now. Just try and roll forward a bit, Liz. Just drive forward a bit. Yeah, all right, stop. Yeah, all right, that seems to have fixed it. Maybe just that drum brake in the rear on this side just got a bit locked on after getting wet yesterday, or got a bit of dust jammed in it maybe. Liz is going to drive this morning. I don't know if we've showed this before, but I'm going to use a UHF handheld. She's obviously got the UHF in the car. She's much less confident driving than I am, but I would much rather be outside the car and directing her, because I can then keep a full eye on what's going on rather than having her outside the car. She doesn't really know exactly what I need to know or how to direct me that well, because obviously she doesn't really reverse. She hasn't got much experience reversing trailers or caravans or anything like that. All she has to do is just do what I say, and if I stuff it up, it's all on me. So I just think it's a way better way to do it. Put the most confident person, the most confident driver, the most confident at reversing outside the car, because they can keep an eye on everything and direct much more efficiently, I think, than someone who doesn't really know that well how to reverse. So I've put the ute in low range as well. We needed full drive to get out of this sand, but low range just gives Liz a bit more control, gives her plenty of torque, and it means it's a bit easier for her to reverse nice and slowly, and drive forward nice and slowly.
I cannot believe you're going to let me drive. You've been hanging to drive this road for so long, and now I'm in the driver's seat. My experience on corrugations is slim to none, and intro to driving on corrugations is the Gibb River Road, so it'll be baptism of fire.
Towing a 3-ton caravan.
Towing a 3-ton caravan. All right, let's see how this goes.
What could go wrong? Should be right.
Oh, yeah, it's fine.
It's only 10 k's to Home Valley, so I thought it'd be a good little chance for Liz to do a short stint and just get some experience in. I think it's really important that both of us know how to drive and are confident driving. If something happens to me, if I get injured or something happens, it's important, I think, that Liz has got the skills and the confidence to drive us out of there. So yeah, I think why not share the driving around a bit and let us both get a bit of experience. Yeah.
It's only 10 k's to Home Valley, and at this rate, with me driving, it'll take us 10 hours. Everyone should give this a crack. If you're the least confident driver, the more you do, the more confident you feel.
And look, at the end of the day, just take it easy. Just don't go flat out. You don't need to be doing bloody 80 or 100k an hour. Liz is only doing 50 or 60k an hour. Just getting a feel for it. Like, there's no rush. To be honest, where the road is at the moment, it's fairly twisty and windy and a lot of floodways and stuff. So you'd be hard pressed to go much quicker than that with a van on anyway. Oh, good job. We made it as far as Home Valley anyway.
Made 10 k's of the Gibb River Road. Woo!
She did well. That's good. Nice and smooth. Oh yeah, but it's a rocky road. You can't dodge every rock. All right, we have arrived at Home Valley Station. I don't think we'll camp here. Obviously, we've only gone 10 k's. It's been so so long since kids have had a good play on a playground. They've been hassling us all the time. Obviously, not many playgrounds out here, and yeah, very pleasantly surprised. This is awesome. And a great swimming pool, nice bar area, it looks like.
Set up for kids it is.
Good campground, like nice grassy sites. They've got the water on everywhere, keeping it nice, looking nice and fresh. And
Home Valley Station was bought back by the traditional owners, and it's apparently used as a sort of training facility to train locals in hospitality and station work as well. So I like that about stations that are, using their facilities
they've also
to
bought,
help others. And
they've also bought two of the neighbouring stations as well. So they've got a total of over 1 million acres. We're going to chill out here for a bit, get a little bit of work done, enjoy it, let the kids have a really good play, maybe have a quick swim, and then go keep heading along the road and see what the next point of interest is.
I'm just going to do some Instagram posts. So if you're interested in finding out where we're at in real time, make sure you follow along Instagram, Facebook. They're way more up to date.
I'm doing my best with the YouTube to get us up to date, but yeah, they will be more up to date.
Yeah, so if you want to see what's coming up in the YouTube, go head over to Instagram and Facebook and get yourself a sneak peek.
And let us know if you've been to this part of the Kimberley before, and tell us what your highlights were. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you liked, what you loved, what you didn't, what you weren't too fussed on. Help us to build this as a resource for other people who haven't been up this way, to sort of get an idea of what's worth stopping in and where they might want to spend the majority of their time. So
yeah, let us know your hot tips.
Cool. Oh no. That was our little short stop at Home Valley Station. What a pleasant surprise that was. That was a beautiful little spot. We had a good swim. Kids got to enjoy the playground. We ended up spending most of the middle of the day there.
Let's do this.
It's still pretty warm. It's getting on in the afternoon now. We're going to start heading down and make camp. Looking like we're probably going to camp down near the Gibb River. So we've got about 80 k's to go. Probably takes a bit over an hour. Head down there and find a spot to park up for the night. And then tomorrow, we're heading to Ellenbray Station, I reckon. A few more dusty holes and corrugations and a bit more rock and stuff to go, and see where we end up. Hey, just at the top of the hill, as you're leaving Home Valley Station, heading to the west, we're on the Pentecost Range and looking out over the Cockburn Range. Unbelievable view, especially this time of the afternoon.
There'll be a Liz artwork coming soon.
Could be an artwork of this. It's not bad at all.
Insane. Just wondering if anyone else's husband has issues with rattles. Simon hates them, absolutely hates them.
To be fair, have a listen to this. All right, I don't know what this is that's developed in the Ranger, but just up right next to my right ear, when we're on corrugations, this is the noise I'm listening to. So I don't know what it is. It sounds like the glass is grinding on something, or I've checked if there's anything caught in the track or anything. I can't work out what it is, but it is the most horrible, grinding sound right next to your right ear. The poor old Ranger's rattling to pieces. The more of these dirt roads we do, the more rattles develop inside it. And we call it the rattlesnake.
We were just saying how beautiful the landscape is here and how surprising it is. We both just thought the Gibb River was one straight corrugated road, basically, with not much to see vegetation-wise. But so far, it has been really windy, lots of beautiful escarpments, lots of dips, lots of hills, lots of views. It's really stunning. We just pulled over, we're just going to check the tyres. It's something we're going to do regularly just to make sure that we don't do any damage, and if we do damage that we stop before we do further damage. So Simon's just going to routinely just stop, pull over, make sure we haven't got a flat. And I offered to help him, but he said no thank you.
Yeah, just thought I'd stop and pull up, and we've still got about another 20 k's to go to camps. The road's in pretty good condition overall. It's pretty smooth. It's surprising me, but there's a lot of this sharp rock. That's That's a fairly small one, but there's some decent, in a lot of patches, just really good embedded, like it's really embedded sharp rock, and some loose stuff obviously that's been flicked out as well. It's got really sharp corners on it, sharp edges, so it's pretty tough on tyres. And I figure if anything's going to go wrong, it's probably going to be a tyre. Well, hopefully. It's probably the most likely thing. So, yeah, as we probably said, we lowered the tyre pressures down. I can't actually remember where I let them down to now. I think we're doing about 26, 28 on the van, something like that. Fronts in the utes about the same, and about, I think 35s roughly in the back of the Ranger. Probably averaging about 70 k's an hour. We're down to 50 or 60 in some spots where it's a bit rougher, and obviously there's a lot of floodways in that. But yeah, it's going well. And yeah, there's been a few sections we're cruising up to 80. I'm not real keen to go much quicker than that because it's just a bit hard to wash off speed if we need to for holes or rocks or big washaways or things like that. But yeah, I'll tell you what, overall, pleasantly surprised by the condition of the Gibb. And from what I've been told, it's supposed to get even better. This is meant to be the rougher end. So if this is as bad as it's going to get, I'm pretty well stoked with that. Right, another 20 k's, I think, just to creep up to camp, and the sun's getting low. I'm getting tired. Time for a rest. All right, we have arrived at a camp. The Durag River is pretty well dry. There's a few little holes, water holes left in it. We could have camped. There was some camps just at the top of the range before we dropped down into the river valley, but they were pretty close to the road. So we just came down through the river and a few hundred metres up the road, and just this big flat area to camp in. So we're just going to camp here for tonight. Tomorrow morning we're going to shoot into Ellenbray Station. There's rumours of some scones with jam and cream, which they reckon are pretty good and worth stopping in for. So Liz and I are pretty partial to the old scone and jam and cream, so we're probably going to lash out and get a couple. Righto, so I'll get the Weber out. We'll knock up get the barbecue going. Don't mind these quick overnight stops. You know, we tend to just we nearly always stay hitched up. We don't put the awning out. We don't muck around with chairs. We just sit in the van and have dinner in the van, cook outside normally, watch the sunset, and then I normally just settle in and do some editing. And Liz normally sits down and has a bit of a read about what's coming up and where we might stay and what we might visit along the way. That's her new thing anyway. It's been only a week or so since we were at the supermarket. Yeah, generally at the first week or 10 days, however long the salad lasts, we're pretty much meat and salad for dinners and cold meat and salad on wraps for lunch. We did a pulled pork back in Kununurra. Yeah, got the Thermomix fired up and did a pulled pork in there, and then we portioned that up in vacuum seal it and freeze it, and that becomes a lot of our lunch meat. So one of the best things about free camping out in the outback and out in the bush like this is, sunsets like that. Absolute cracker. We had a little half pork roast, loin, or I think it was a loin roast. But I just done with the Weber. I forgot to show you when I first threw it on, but I just, bit of oil, bit of salt on the crackle, and away you go. So it's just sitting in there, cranking along. I just shut the barbecue down, and it's just finishing itself off, so to speak. Probably could have picked better choice of words for that. But anyway, it's just going to finish off there, and then Liz has just made us a salad. All right, so I just pulled the pork off. Probably could think of a different way to say that too. I just got the pork off the barbecue, and
Sorry, I've just got to hold the
Liz has just got to recover from that. And as you might have experienced yourself from time to time, pork crackle around the edges was pretty good. We've already polished it off, but the bit in the middle is still a little bit rubbery. I'm going to show you something that could change your life. There's a good chance that pork fat's going to go everywhere, so you want to make sure you cover it when you put it in the microwave.
Oh, that would be huge.
Now that.
I think there's more than you were expecting.
Now, if you like your pork crackle super crunchy like I do, this, game changer.
It's just meat and salad, but so good. love free camping. This is so good. And we've had the most amazing day. It's definitely worth investing the time in getting the stuff you need for free camping is all I'm going to say. Very happy with our setup.
And what I love about the most is we got it all to ourselves, and it's perfectly quiet. You know, we're not too far from the road, but far enough. And I mean, there's hardly any traffic on these outback roads in the middle of the night, or very little to none. Obviously, no one wants to travel at night out here, so yeah, generally, if you can pull up camp reasonably late, like we did, you won't. Like, since we've been pulled up here, there's been 2 cars go, or 1 truck and 1 car go past. So, I mean, yeah. And you get to see cracking sunsets like this. We will wrap this up. We'll see you in the morning. Nighty night. Pop its bum in the air and
How's it go?
pop the bum in the air.
Aww,
How's yours go?
it doesn't.
That's why I married her.
I thought I was going to say something.
I was waiting for it.
I realised that you'd said it all. So he's deaf, pretty much. He's only got about 30% hearing in his left ear.
Hey? Speak up. People won't be able to hear you.
Everyone can hear me fine, honey.
It's very convenient that I'm deaf in my left ear. You'd almost think I'd made it up. My Liz ear is deaf.
And I'll press that button.
No more buttons pushing.
I
You
won't
two
be
have
able
pushed
to
enough
move.
buttons. You're laughing at my joke, Tuff. Look at your face. Aren't you proud of me?
What have I created?